Most people don't explain themselves to be understood. They explain themselves to be accepted, and that is where their power leaks. Every explanation you give is a subconscious request for approval. It says, please agree with me. Please don't misunderstand me. Please don't reject me. But psychologically, the more you explain yourself, the less authority you appear to have. People who are secure in themselves don't over-clarify. They don't justify their boundaries. They don't defend their decisions. They don't negotiate their self-respect. And the moment you stop explaining yourself, everything shifts. The first change is power dynamics. When you explain too much, you place yourself in a lower position. You act as if your choices need permission, as if your no needs validation, as if your life is open for debate. When you stop explaining, you silently communicate. I trust my judgment. I don't need agreement to move forward. I'm comfortable standing alone. People feel that immediately. The second change is emotional control. Over-explaining is often driven by anxiety, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of conflict, the fear of disappointing others. But strong minds understand this truth. Not everyone needs to understand you. Not everyone deserves access to your reasoning. And not everyone will interpret you fairly even if you explain perfectly. When you stop explaining, you reclaim emotional energy. You stop leaking peace into conversations that were never meant to resolve. The third change is respect. People respect boundaries they cannot negotiate. The more you explain a boundary, the more people look for loopholes. Clear decision followed by silence is far more powerful than a long justification. This is why confident people sound calm, short, and decisive. They don't argue their standards, they live them. The fourth change is manipulation resistance. Manipulators rely on explanations. They ask questions not to understand, but to weaken your resolve. They want you talking. They want you doubting. They want you overthinking. The moment you stop explaining, manipulation loses oxygen. Confusion replaces control. Silence replaces pressure. The fifth change is self-trust. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you teach your brain not to trust you. But when you act without justification, your nervous system stabilizes. Your identity solidifies. Your confidence becomes internal. You stop outsourcing your certainty to other people. The sixth change is presence. People who don't over-explain carry a different energy. They move slower. They speak less. They listen more. Their presence feels grounded because they are not seeking permission to exist. And that presence changes how people treat them. The seventh change is clarity. When you stop explaining yourself, you start explaining your life through action. Your habits speak. Your consistency speaks. Your boundaries speak. Your silence speaks. And unlike words, actions are not debatable. The Sistine paradox. The less you try to be understood, the clearer you become. Because the people who truly matter never needed the explanation in the first place. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop living defensively. You stop managing perceptions. Stop shrinking to avoid friction. You become firm without aggression. Calm without apology. Clear without cruelty. And that is when everything changes. Not because others suddenly understand you, but because you finally understand yourself. If this resonated, follow for more psychology and philosophy on power, boundaries, and inner freedom.